This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love, and we are back with another video. And in this video, I want to let the brothers know what leadership is and what leadership looks like, because it seems like a lot of black men have a template of what leadership is and what leadership looks like. Leadership, brothers, is simply influence. You see, today they call it being an influencer. If you are an influencer, you are a leader, because that's what leadership entails. That is what leadership is about. You are able to influence people directly or indirectly for a specific cause. That's what leadership is. But a lot of black men around in this space and abroad, they think leadership is something else. They think leadership is you being a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. That is an example of leadership. That is an example. But that you have to understand what leadership entails. It entails influence. So to all my brothers out there who are influencers in their proper right, continue to lead, brothers. Don't be afraid to lead. Understand, leadership don't cost you anything tangible. Understand this. You don't have to have $1 million. Now, if you want to be a finance leader, then that's something different, because there is men out here who lead in that right. But understand that that's what you are. You see? And you also must understand, brothers, that leadership is a process. You become a leader. Let me repeat that. You become a leader. A leader is not something that you are because of something else. Okay? So you're not a leader because you went out in the world and got a college degree and you drive a Mercedes Benz for a living, so that makes you a leader of something. No. All that means is you drive a Benz. That doesn't mean you're a leader. See, because another thing black men don't understand about leadership is the act of becoming something. You see, leadership is you becoming. It's a becoming thing. This is why most of your leaders are motivational speakers. They're public speakers. A lot of them are coaches. A lot of them are mentors, because these are men who have become something. These are men who had to go through something to become who they are now. That's what grants them the title of leadership. You see, brothers, you have to understand this. Leadership is becoming. So you have to put in the work. And what work is that? That is the internal work. Because leadership is in you, not on you. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is a duty. It's a duty. This is why you have black men in this space who are not effective at leadership because they haven't became leaders yet. Because they haven't done the proper internal work. They are not motivating other men to do the proper internal work because they don't understand what leadership is. And this is why men in this space drop the goddamn ball. Because y'all don't understand what leadership is. You think the leader is the cutest nigga outside counting some money and getting in a nice car. That's what you think a leader is. No, those are trinkets that men decide to buy. You see? So your rappers are not leaders. They're not leaders unless they're telling you that the work is done internally. Unless you see them transform into being leaders. This is why, as y'all can see on the thumbnail, we have Jay-Z. Jay-Z first album was Reasonable Doubt. He had reasonable doubt if he ever was going to run the rap game. But Jay-Z is the leader of hip hop today because of what? Because of what he became. What he became, what he earned over the years. Jay-Z is not Jay-Z, the same Jay-Z from Reasonable Doubt until now. See, Jay-Z had to have a blueprint. You see? Jay-Z had to remember that there's a kingdom within inside of him. This is why he named his album Kingdom Come. See, Jay-Z has shown and proved that he's a leader because Jay-Z has became the God MC of rap. He has became that, and that is what leadership is. Leadership is becoming something. Jay-Z wasn't the leader back in 96 when he had Reasonable Doubt. No, Jay-Z put the work in. He did volume 1, he did volume 2, he did volume 3. Then he brought us the Dynasty. Because leaders do what? Influence other men. This is how he had the Dynasty. Rock La Familia. He was showing brothers what he was becoming. He was becoming the leader of rap. And he told you the story of his process through his albums. Go back and look at his albums. He told you. He told you he was going to fade to black. Because what? He changed clothes. You see, he was becoming. So his image and his appearance had to change because he was no longer the same guy who had Reasonable Doubt. He wasn't the same guy who was still fighting or wrestling with the the evils of the hood. You see, Jay-Z told you through his music who he was. By the moves that he made in the hip hop industry, he showed you, I'm God MC. He bought us Rock La Familia. He bought us Beanie Siegel. You see, he bought us Kanye West. You see, he was showing us who and what he was becoming. That is what leadership is. Leadership is not you standing there holding your nuts, saying what you got. Leadership is about who you put in position to succeed. Who did you influence? How many other people did you make rich? See, because great leaders create great leaders, and fake leaders create fake leaders. So who did you put in position to thrive? You didn't put nobody in position because you're not a leader, because you don't understand what leadership entails. You see? Because your team represents you. They reflect you. You see? So if you a shitty leader, then you're gonna have shitty teammates. They're not gonna know what to do because they're not being influenced the correct way. They're not being led down the right path. You see, a lot of us think this leadership shit is just you sitting around pointing, do this, do that, do this, do that. That's a dictator. And a dictator is a form of a leader, but they're not as effective. They're not as effective because all those people who you're dictating things to, how long are they going to be there for you to instruct and to lead? And most of the time, dictators are going to lead you to the slaughter. So when we're talking about black male leadership, we need to understand what leadership is. Leadership is men being motivated off them seeing you become your best version of yourself. Not you already being that person, but you becoming that person. You see? See, that is what create great leaders. When people see the process, when people see you actually going through your metamorphosis, not you popping out some polished Negro talking about you should listen to me. See, because Malcolm was one of our greatest leaders and will always be one of our greatest leaders because people saw his metamorphosis. People saw his transformation. He didn't come out El Haj Malik El Shabazz. He didn't come out Malcolm X. He came out Detroit Red. You see? Jay-Z is respected the way he is today, not because he started out Jay-Z the God MC, but no, because he started out Jay-Z the drug dealer who took his money and invested it into the rap game. Nipsey Hussle, may God rest his soul, will always be remembered. Why? because he was a leader, because people saw him become. The marathon continues. He has become that. Nipsey embodied that. People got to see you become something before they could grant you leadership title. Before they could say you a leader, they got to see you become something. And it has to be greater than what you were, greater than what you once spoke against. You see? This is why I tell you, brothers, the biggest obstacle is yourself. That's who you should be competing with. Because see, if you can't lead yourself, where people can actually see you becoming and growing into something, they're not going to listen to you. They're not. They're not. They're not going to look to you for that. And don't get mad. Just understand what leadership is. Leadership is becoming. And if you ain't doing nothing but becoming a paid maggle, then what are you actually motivating men to become? And this is the problem. We have too many black men motivating other black men to become the same pieces of shit that they get on the internet and complain about. We sat around for years and tried to use labels to try to mask the lack of leadership. It don't matter if you're red pill, black pill, blue pill, whatever. If you're not striving to become the better version of yourself, you're not a leader. If people cannot see any progress in any forms in your life, internally, not externally, but internally, you are not a leader. Because leadership is becoming. It is becoming something. So don't get mad about what you're not. Because remember, it has to be in you, not on you. So get down in the comment section and let me know what y'all think. I appreciate y'all for tuning into the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to all of the visionaries. Much love to the A-Game Nation. I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Peace.
This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.